What is going on, guys? Axis Football 26 is what we're going to be talking about here. Now, I'm going to be talking about my concern with the Axis Football series altogether. I feel like this year they may get left behind. They may face a lot of struggles this year. Now, I don't know for sure if it's going to be on PlayStation 5 or 4. It's never been Access Football's never been on PS5. I haven't heard that it was going to be on PS5. I haven't heard that it wasn't. I haven't heard what platforms it's going to be on. I know over the last few years it's been on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. Maybe PC too, maybe some others too, but those are what they've been on for the last few years. I don't know that they're even upgrading to the PlayStation 5 or not. I haven't heard that they were. And when I was looking it up, it just simply said PlayStation. It didn't say 4 or 5, and I think it may just be 4. And that is one of the reasons why I'm concerned about this product, the series as a whole. Now, I'm worried that they're not going to do very well this year. Not because I don't think the game is going to be good. I think this year the competition for football games is going to be wider than it's been in a long time. And of course, you have NCAA came back. Of course, you always have Madden. Now, I don't think Madden was too much of an issue for them because this was a cheaper game, you know, a generic base game without real teams or anything like that. They've always been against Madden, so that's not really going to make a difference for what they've usually been able to do. But with college football coming out, has already came out last year. But the biggest difference to me that makes me worry about this product and whether or not they'll even be able to sell or do anything is Maximum Football. Maximum Football is coming out on June 17th for PlayStation 5. Now, if this is only on PS4, that may actually help them if Maximum Football is not on PS4. I don't believe Maximum Football is on PlayStation 4. I think it's just on PS5. So by them not releasing it on PS5 and only be on PS4, if that is the case, I don't even know if that's the case. I have no idea. I haven't heard. But I'm saying if that's the case, then people who have not upgraded to the PlayStation 5 yet will not be able to play Maximum Football if that is not on PlayStation 4. So that will actually probably, if anything, help Access Football sell their product a little bit better, I guess. But with Maximum Football being free to download and free to play, that is really going to mess with the sales of Access Football, because if people feel that Maximum Football is a better game and it's free and it comes out before that, because what I read is that Access Football is due to come out September of this year. Access Football 26 is coming out September of 25. Now, Maximum Football 1.0 for PlayStation 5 is coming out in June 17th, is from what I understand. So, with that being said, that would, if that game turns out really good and people really love it, I think that could definitely do its damage on Access Football as far as selling the game. I think that will definitely hurt them. I think now this is not me directly talking. I'm not ridiculing or criticizing Access Football. I'm going to buy the game regardless of what happens. I've always supported this product. I've been open about how I did not like Access Football 24. I thought it was a good idea that they took a year off. They did not release a game in 2024. They didn't release, there was no Access Football 25. They needed the time off to focus more on their next product, and I think that was a good choice. However, now you're dealing with a free game, Maximum Football, which looks like it could be potentially good enough to, make it where it's going to be hard for people to even want to buy this product here. And I'm not saying this is not going to be a good product. I like Access Football, and like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna buy the game. Either way, I've always bought Access Football. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna at least see what they have. They don't have a ridiculously high price either. So, but I'm just talking about overall. I'm not talking about my opinion of the product. I'm talking about overall, realistically. If you look at it realistically and you say, okay, well, if Maximum Football comes out in June and it is substantially considered a good game among fans and they really enjoy it a lot, that's going to hold people back from buying Access Football 26. Naturally, it will. Because, like I said, Access Football, you would have to pay for it. That would be free. People download that and play it and enjoy it. This comes out, there's going to be less people trying to buy this product. And I think it's time. And I know Access Football is not a large developer. I know they have a really small team. I don't know if they can do what I'm getting ready to say they need to do, but the engine they're using, which is this one, and the Access Football 26, looks like it's the same engine. Looks like this. Looks a lot like this. Probably improved and touched up, and probably looks a little bit better than this, but it's the same general feel, the same general look, the same engine. And I think that is where, if they don't produce, the reason why I say they're not going to be able to, they may not be able to even upgrade to another engine for their newest product for Access Football, let's say Access Football 27, is because I don't know that they would even sell enough this year to make enough money to actually be able to put to, to put towards Access Football 27. And this may actually be kind of like the end or the downfall of Access Football. Now, I'm pretty sure they won't stop making the game. They may, not make it on console or leave it on Steam or something like that. If anything at all, they're not going to stop the production. I don't believe they would. They just may not be able to put it on console if they just don't get any sales this year because of the free Maximum Football. Maximum Football has customization, create a team. They don't have, it looks like on June 17th when they release, they won't have the franchise yet. I haven't heard anything about Access Football adding any online play or team share or anything like that. And without them adding that stuff, I don't see that they would even be able to do anything with sales. I just don't. Because Maximum Football has created a team. They have online play. I think they may have community creations share, like where you can create a team. I haven't heard that they're going to have that. I don't know. Access Football, I haven't heard that they're going to have it. I don't know if Access Football has the resources to implement stuff like that into their product, but I haven't heard that either game is going to have that feature. I'm just saying, now hypothetically speaking, if Access Football were to have team share, probably not online play. I don't know that they would do online. I don't know. If they did, that would certainly help their sales, but I don't think they will. But let's focus on community creations, which is basically team share. You create teams and you share your creation online. If Access Football were to add something like that, that would substantially lift their product and increase their sales. If they have it on PlayStation 5, I don't even know if that would even help, because with Maximum Football, I think a lot of people, if Maximum Football has a really good turnout, which recently the reviews have been pretty good. The early access release for Steam, there was some issues with, people not being satisfied with certain parts of the game. But lately, I've been hearing positive things about Maximum Football. So that's basically what I wanted to touch on. Is I think they might get left behind this year on sales, and it may affect the product going forward, because they were not really necessarily able to upgrade the engine and change the overall feel or look of the game. However, I do believe the game is going to be a better product than this year, than the previous one. But with Maximum Football, I don't know that they will even be able to sell the product that well. I just don't know, Steam or console, because Maximum is on both, and Maximum being free, Access Football definitely wouldn't be able to be free because they would have absolutely no way to make any profit, and that would be crazy. But yeah, anyway, that's basically this video here. I just wanted to talk about that. Again, this is not me, my opinion on Access Football, saying that I don't think Access Football should sell. I'm not saying that. I'm saying realistically speaking, looking at what's coming up with the Madden, college football, and I don't know if that 2K game is even coming out. I don't know what's going on. It looks like they're not even, I don't hear nothing about it. But with mainly the Maximum Football is going to be the biggest challenge for these guys because it's free and it's an indie game like this one is. It has the same generic well, it has generic teams. I said the same generic. It obviously doesn't have the same generic teams, but has the same feature is what I meant when it comes to, customization. It looks like the creative team is a lot deeper in Maximum Football. You can edit players individually. Yeah, anyway, that's this video. What's your opinion? Leave a message, leave a comment.